Okay. Okay, so once again, welcome to the first semester. Wow. Sorry, minutes. Okay. So everyone, welcome to this section where we'll be talking about the first semester, what you did, the journey so far. Then we move on to the journey ahead. We treat technical question if there is any. Then we move forward to how we are going to go about the second semester and what to expect and what to do. So firstly, I think I should ask if there is anyone with any technical question that we can look into. Do we have any? Maybe we can start on that note. Do we have any?
Hello. Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah. Thank you, Shagman, for putting this up again. And it has been really challenging and enlightening, right? During the Linux, one of the courses, the foundational course, right? The last project there was one project that we were told to serve one of our websites from a database and all. So it was beyond the scope of that training on the Udacity platform. That like they didn't teach that part, but although it was stated that you have to do a bit of research. So I mean, if that can be addressed, I would really appreciate, like, not doing it for us, but what to do, because I was really occupied and I couldn't have time to sit down and think through the project. It's more like a mini project. So I don't know whether you are getting what I'm trying to say here. There is a project that we were asked to do. We were asked to research deeply, and it was beyond the scope of the training of Udacity there. Yeah.
Okay, so honestly, I don't know which one you are saying, but is it something that you can share the question here so we can look it? But if it's something you can share, we can look here. It's a thing I can just do a short video recording on how to go about it.
I can share it now. I can share it now.
Okay, let's see if it's something I can look into.
Okay. So you want me to share my screen?
Yeah, you can. Let me see. Yes, you should be able to. Yes. Can you share your screen?
It says host disabled participant screen share.
Okay, just a moment.
Let me log on to the website.
Okay, okay, let me just make you a co-host so you can share your screen for now. Okay, you should be able to do that now.
I'm sorry. Man, just a moment. So, share. Okay. So, I'm sharing my screen now. Can you see my screen?
Okay.
Linux server. So, I think it's web server. I didn't think of it. If not, I would have prepared my screen. But once
Yeah,
when
sure,
you
it's
yeah.
okay.
Is the last page of this of where you are. So keep going. No, continue. Go ahead. The
Okay,
last
I think I'm on the last now. Wait, sorry.
So if you go to your left hand and click on Syst installing Postgres, that should be the last.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So, so update here this. You need to create good. This task is easier than exactly. This is the task. So update your this directory, this file, okay, so that it successfully connects to your database. Right. Query query is a table for data and present that piece of data rather than the text hello. So we did an Apache web server, and from there we were
Okay.
able to edit it to hello world. But instead of doing that, they want us to create a database, and then you will need to create a table and populate it with data of your choice, I believe, and then query it from your app. This task is easier said than done. So use your research skills and don't be afraid to break things. Good luck.
Okay,
So
so I think I've done a project on this, not exactly like this, but something relating to this web server with Progress. I think it will be something relating to this. So I have it on my GitHub and I have a documentation on how you can go about it. So
okay.
it is something I can share for everyone to go through. It's more like I take a look at it so I can share it. So we can all go through it. Then if we feel we need more knowledge on about it, then I can just do a short video or just a short section to talk about how you will go about this.
Okay.
But
It's fine.
I will share my repo in which I have such project. I think if I could remember, it's okay. Just a moment. So I think it's a web solution. Mm, okay, just a moment. Postgres. Okay, maybe just give me time. We search and send it to us so we can go through it if it's it because I know we deal with Apache and some. Okay. Oh, okay. So I think the one I use then is MySQL. I can't remember or MongoDB. Or I use yeah. I think I use MongoDB and MySQL for the database instead of Postgres. So you can either use any database, either you want to use Postgres or MySQL or MongoDB, anyone. Just the main one is to achieve this objective. So I can share that one with you so you can also manipulate it using Postgres. And if you need more knowledge on it, then we can do a short video now to go about it. Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah, that's fine. But what I was actually maybe like an high view of, okay, this you will do this what you do, put this together, then maybe I
So
cannot go into it. That's just all I was trying to
okay,
get to.
so if you now this file, this part, this var.www.html is the part in which we connect to the database. So it's the part that is going to establish the connection. So now, instead of using this my app.wsgi, you can use anything. You can use maybe my web.html, depending on the file that you want to use. That is what you're going to use to connect. So someone is saying they can't hear. Everyone can hear me, right? So I think it should be the network.
I can
Oh,
hear you
okay.
clearly.
Oh, okay. So this part, this my app.wsgi. So this WSGI is the, what do you call it? The Postgres extension.
Okay.
Do you get? So maybe it is another thing that you want to connect to. We have the extension, the dot, we have the extension which you are used to connect to it. Remember, when you are using HTML, you put
Yeah.
the HTML file, and inside the HTML file you put hello world.
Yeah.
So now inside this my app.wsgi now is where your
Yeah.
database that you have formed will be.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand me. So that's where,
Yeah.
in the HTML file, you put hello world. So when you connect to it, what you can see on the screen is hello world. So is this
Okay.
application that you're going to, that the table, please, can you mute your microphone? I think there is someone underground that is not muted. Oh, okay. So yeah, thank you. So when you arrange your database and it's in this my app.wsig, so when you put it into this part, when it connects to the database, that is what is going to show once the connection is established. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So inside that database, that's where you are going to organize your query, what you want, how you want your query, your database to be. Then if you put it in this part and you follow the instruction on how to go about, then you're going to see that.
Okay, perfect.
So if you
That's
go to
great.
chapter 5, if you move up to chapter 5, you can know the fifth one here. You will see your first WS, you can see that this is how so this application is put, you can see that this is the output. Hello, that's if you scroll down. Can you scroll down? Okay, so you can see this is what is inside the file, the my app.wsgi. This is so from here, let me see. So this is what is put inside the my app.wsgi. So when this connection is established, what you will see is hello Udacity, that's the output. So in your output, you can have your table. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah, so then when that one is put there, so you can look into it. If you click on that WSGI, the highlighted one, you can see how you can create it, and you can create the table that you want, or how to use the Postgres. I've not really used it before, but I know that's how you're gonna go about it. Do we all understand? Do you have any other question?
Okay, I
So
get.
this is just
Thank
like it is just a Python script. It's just a Python function to return this output. If the status is 200, that means if it is okay, then return this output. Then what is in the output? Hello, Udacity. So it's just a Python function. It's just a function. So it's something like this. They mainly use in Lambda. When we are talking about serverless, this is how the function is being arranged. Just a function will trigger a particular response and stuff like that. Am I
you.
able to answer your
So,
question?
yes, so in summary, like from the database we have created, there's always an endpoint from the database, right? That
Yes.
will now Who's here?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any other question? Any other question? Okay, so I will take the silence as no.
Hello, Shegun.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, Shegun, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
This is Abayomi.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm joining the meeting from another laptop. I don't have access to the learning platform, but I had issues with Apache 2 server, like that welcome page. I did all that
Okay.
I could. I did all the commands. That's like the first page of Apache, where the Apache homepage that says "Welcome to Ubuntu" comes up. So
Okay.
I created my Vagrant machine, did all the necessary commands, but the ports were
So
good, the status okay, but the homepage was not loading on my browser. You know the Apache 2 homepage, it was not loading on my browser. So I was trying to troubleshoot, I couldn't.
do you have any error message?
I wish I could show you from my system or my
Do you have any error message?
did you bring, yeah, it says unable to connect local hosts, like unable to connect with local hosts. That's yeah, I think that's what he was saying as at yesterday when I tried again.
So do you have any prompt that maybe the port is taking? Can you hear me?
So I'm sorry, what did you say?
Do you
Okay,
have
yes, okay, you
any
know.
prompt? Maybe the port you are using is being taken, or maybe until I see the error message, I can't really say. And sometimes it might not come up based on some
Yes, that's where
extensions.
the issue is. I would have loved to show you the
Okay,
okay.
so
Okay,
another thing is
yes.
there are some
There
extensions on
was an
the
error
that you
message that said,
okay.
oh god, I wish my system could come up right now. I'm using two systems.
So
So one
what you
of
can
them
do
I can't use
is
it for external work.
what you
Maybe
can do is
when it comes up, don't.
you can do a screenshot and send it to me, then I can see.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, any other person? Uh, okay. In the absence of no question, so probably I will take the floor now. So welcome everyone, and I want to congratulate those that were able to go through the fundamental courses and have the certifications, or we were able to complete the course. So I want to hear from us, what are the challenges we face? What do you think should be changed? And what are the things that you will look forward to or we want? So I want to hear from us. Anyone? Okay, yeah, Abayomi, you raised your hand.
Okay, yes. Thank you for having us, Shegun. I hope you guys can hear me.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So basically for me, I won't lie. Um it's new to me. But since I joined the group, I was always following the updates, and I really developed interest in this program because of how it was properly structured and the timelines. But I would say for me, the only challenge I had was timeline because of my work schedule. Because I already spoke about it on the group, I guess. So I had to put in extra work. It's good actually putting timelines to and deadlines to all these courses, but it was kind of like stressing and dragging me out. I feel like I didn't really get to grasp the concepts of those core or the foundations of all those courses. Trying to beat deadline, you try to run through everything. If you don't get it right, you maybe like skip to know what is the answer and stuff like that. Though I feel like over time we'll still need to brush up, we still need to go back. I suggested we have revision classes one time, but I know maybe over time we will discuss that as well. But I feel like just the timeline was a bit challenging for me. I used to have sleepless nights. Imagine sleeping at 1 o'clock and waking up by 4 to get to work because I have to like finish these courses. So it was a bit daunting for me, but at least it's a good one still. It's a good one.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Abayomi. So, okay, Adewete, Adesami, we go next. Let me just quickly say just a short answer to Abayomi. So now the thing is, honestly, I understand your concern, and time is actually the major thing, the main thing when it comes to things like this. Everybody have a busy schedule, and we have one other things that we are doing. But however, most times we can't always get what we want, which is time. So that's why we have to adapt to that time. And if we adapt to that time, it will actually come as a benefit to us, because most things that we thought we can't do, we discover that we can do it, but we have not seen something that stretch us to that extent for us to be able to do it. So that's one thing about, I understand the time might be, some people are starting from scratch, it's new, and a lot of things like that, yes. But I will just encourage us, even if we have 3 years to complete this, we still also complain about time, because the way woman, our system is, our system is structured like, if it's not deadline, then it's not deadline. So when you have 1 week, you still have time. But when we have 1 day, you will do in 1 day more than what we do in 1 week. So you can agree with me that that's how it is. I understand we have different things that we're doing. I would just encourage us to put in more. It's something that is going to be rewarding at last. And where you are going to get more, have it more rewarding, is when you now build a whole project and you now start from scratch and use all these principles that you have learned. Then you now discover that you know more than you thought you know. Now, when you are reading or doing something, you might just say, okay, I don't this, I don't know this. But when you now start putting it into application and start working on complex projects and start doing research, reading documentation, then you now understand what you thought you don't know. So that's how it works. So when you start using it on a daily work or start going more into it, then you get a proper understanding of it. So don't be discouraged or worried that maybe you don't know everything now. It's okay. There are many things I don't know a long time. I just get to know it. So this is this simple thing. How am I being so foolish all this way, not knowing this simple thing? You will always feel like that. Maybe you don't know anything, but you'll be surprised on how much you have known all this. Wow. So regarding the revision class, so we also have revision class, and again, when we get to second semester, we have a platform to yourself in which you will get to practice a lot with the labs and everything that you don't even need to use your system. You have the whole platform to yourself and practice and even do beyond course material that is there, depending on how you want. That now depends on you if you want to put in more time and effort. So even on that platform, you get to understand more than what you get on the Udacity free course. That one is just a free course to introduce also the fundamental and to get people that are serious with this. So people that couldn't complete the fundamental course, of course, there's no need for them having a platform to themselves because they won't be serious with it, and it's just a waste of money and time putting them on such platforms. So that's why this kind of course come earlier before the main ones that not the main ones per se, but comes before others that you will need a whole full resources and platform to yourself. Yeah, so Adeweti, can you speak now?
Yes. Thank you, Shegun. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, the moderator. I appreciate this effort. It's in fact, it's a golden one. It's a golden opportunity because if you are to even quantify the cost, the price, I know, and almost everyone knows what it was. So I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity you have given every one of us here. We appreciate it, and we will never take it granted by ensuring that we apply it at every point that is needed. That is number one. So, like the other caller said, I'm also new to the system, but I've appreciated every aspect of the training, every aspect of the course line I've gone through, right from the Git and GitHub, the Python, the Linux. I've followed it squarely, which I understand to a great extent. However, I asked the same question in the previous group that question we had a session we had with Luashim. So I love the course, I love the project, I love the outline, I love everything about it. But I want in a situation whereby I can relate it to, I know it's computer programming and thereabout languages and software and co. But I want a situation whereby I can be able to relate it to my field of practice. I've been every time I go through the course outline, I keep looking at it that, oh, will I get across to where my field of practice will be involved in this system along the line? I have not. Majorly, the field is majorly, I know the field is majorly, I want to know how can I be able to inculcate this programming into design probably in the engineering mechanical field, like a piping design, flow design. Let me just put like that, flow design, because I know that all these systems, all these networking systems, they are interwoven one way or the other. There's no point that I think is useless. Even come to a teacher or even come to any aspect of any field of life, I know it's relevant. So I want to know which are the where is it likely I still come across where it's going to be interwoven that I might be able to apply it as well in my line of operation, which is a mechanical design for building design. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I want to know. But as for the course line outline, I went through all of them. In fact, I've done it and I love it, and I will still go over and over again if the time permits me. I appreciate it. That is that. Thank you, Shegun.
Okay, so firstly, I will say cloud computing, it's like a field on its own, just like engineering is a field on its own, accounting is a field of its own, medicine is a field of its own, and co. So that's how cloud computing it's a field on its own. But it's more like an intermediary field in which it's joined to, I can't say two or more fields together. So you will take, for example, companies that are offering hardware solutions, but now have moved to software solutions. Just like the same hardware they are offering, they turn into a software and put it on the cloud platform. So now in relating to engineering, take for example, you study mechanical engineering. So even when it comes to design, every design is more like is an application. And an application can be deployed in the cloud. I'm trying to see the way I'm going to explain this so you can picture it. Just like a website now, we have a website now, and we deploy it using maybe a container orchestration now. You can also do the same for hardwares. It's mainly used mainly in different parts of engineering also. But the main thing is this cloud, maybe as a developer, as a DevOps, is a field on its own. But it's like an intermediary field in which, okay, take for example now, those in finance, maybe you're in the accounting, the database they are deploying, the database they are using when they are doing all the spreadsheets or everything they are doing. Now everything is now moved to the cloud. Do you understand? In medicine, we have what you call the telemedicine. So in telemedicine now, we have both hardware and software together. And this thing is operated via the internet, and it's what deploy in the cloud. So that's why we call, when we say the cloud computing, you can access any resources. Okay, take for example, you might not necessarily have to operate your AutoCAD on your system any longer. Maybe you want to use it in design, then it will be something you will access from the cloud. So it's like an application that is deployed on the cloud that you want to access remotely from anywhere with any system, because you are not even using you're just using your system as an agent to connect to the cloud. So it applies to any field that you might think of. But however, in starting in that field, then it is going to be a particular profession that you want to go into. So even if you are in a company now, you're an engineering team, if you join the cloud team, for example, you won't be working on engineering stuffs again, but you'll be working on how to deploy that engineering stuff on the cloud. You'll be working on the cloud itself, preparing it for those that are working on the application, all those engineering applications now. So you will not be working on engineering application, but you'll be working on the cloud. But you having the understanding of this application will help you in understanding what cloud type, what is the design, what is the architecture and the structure they need. Can you please mute? I don't know if I'm able to answer your question and you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, yes, I get you. Thank you. You have answered it correctly. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other person? Oh, okay, so I will take that as a no. So now we're done with the first semester, and I want to assume that all of us here have completed all the courses and have uploaded our evidence of completion. So now we'll be starting the second semester officially tomorrow. So this is how it's going to work. Each person we have. So before then, let me introduce you first to the platform we'll be using. Let me see if I can share my screen. Okay. Can you all see my screen? Can you see my
Yes.
screen?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see a screen.
So now this is be the main platform we'll be using, which is Code Cloud. I don't know if all of us or some of us know this platform, Code Cloud.
Yes, I know about it. I've taken
So
one of.
yeah, so this is going to be the platform we'll be using. And also we'll be using this A Cloud Guru also for this program. So, but now it's going to be more, everybody will have access to Code Cloud, the premium, and you can do all the courses that's there. Let's check. So these are all the courses. So based on the curriculum we have, so the next one we are in the 6th course, which is Docker. Then after Docker, we go to Kubernetes, then we go to CI/CD. So we will point out which of the course we will take for each of the one. For example, for the Docker, for the Kubernetes, because there might be different one for the CI/CD, for others on. So it's going to show us which one we are going to take. But most of the time, when you see the topic, I advise you take the one that leads to certification. Take, for example, now, you want to take Docker. Is it here or the next page? Is it here? So look at something like this now. It might not really take this. Instead of taking this, then let me see just a moment. I'm using for the Docker certification course. Or am I omitting it somewhere? Okay, let me just go here, like Docker, okay. So this is actually a very good place for us to start. Okay, so I would just advise you to take a course like this. So Docker Certified Associate Exam. So take the course like you want to take the exam. It's going to expose you to all the topic, everything you need when it comes to Docker. So when we want to move to container orchestration, something like Kubernetes, then in this course also you can take something like the CK certification exam. So you can take that also. So yes, this course, you take that one for your CK for the Kubernetes. Then also, just a moment, please. Okay, so also for others also, maybe when we get to the cloud platform, we might decide to go through, we have the Azure courses and AWS also there. I want to check. So choose the one that leads to certification. So for example, we have like the Azure administrator, Azure solution architects, something like that, and also the AWS. So all the material, the course outline that we want to do. So everything is on it. And I can assure you, you're going to learn a lot on this platform if you can dedicate your time. And if you finish this, I can assure you, be a superstar at the end of this program. So alternatively, there is also the A Cloud Guru. This one it just has thousands of courses here. But this one will be available on a special request. And before we give this one out, we need a motivation on why you need this or why you think the cloud is not enough for you. So firstly, you start with the code cloud because I believe that's the best you could use. So both subscriptions are available. So the reason why we are not going to give the two out at the same time is because, you know, We don't want the abuse, like people will just take it, will not use it or stuff like that. And again, I must say, if you are given an access to log in and use the platform, please don't share it with your friends. Don't share it with anyone. So because from Code Cloud, they have a way in which they monitor and check the usage, and now it's being used. Although different people will have different login and access, but please don't share with anyone, and ensure that you log into one device at a time, maybe the device you are using. And if you are not using that device, log out and log in into another. So don't log in on multiple devices at the same time. Do you understand? Yeah, I want a response from us to be sure, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, it's clear. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Understood.
Thank you. So now going
Yes,
forward
sure.
now, so
Yes.
we have to, yeah, thank you. We do a pruning on each of the group. Those that did not submit or did not meet the qualification, of course, will not continue with this. Like I said, if they couldn't complete the fundamentals and the foundational course, then we don't see any reason for them to proceed on this. So firstly, we have to remove those that are not active and will not be given the access to this platform. So by tomorrow, you are required to start working on the containers. So I think this is where you enjoy it more. You have more questions. We want to have more section on this. So it's even possible maybe after some days we have a section on each of these platforms. So you have a month and you have 45 days to complete the remaining curriculum and the remaining 15 days to complete a project. So when we are doing the project, you will still have access to the resources. So these resources, of course, because you have to go through it and try to do the project. So this project is essential and important. I won't want to give detail more on that, but I will just say it's essential and important that we do it. So you'll be given 45 days to go over all this material and the remaining 15 days to do your project. So you will still have access to the platform, of course, in which you can use to go through it again and be able to use it to complete the project. So the project will be communicated to us later. So, and again, like we'll be having, so right now we'll be having frequent sections, my section on Docker, Kubernetes, any questions, then we'll be able to address it now. So we are more like getting into the core tools and resources that is required in this cloud computing now. So you have a lot of questions now and many concerns more now at the moment. Okay. So it's now this time that we will going to go over it and try to deal with everything that comes up. So feel free to ask all your questions now as you proceed to start. So by maybe later today or in the morning, I'm using West African time, you will see the login and login details in which you're going to use to access the platform. Then by then you can just, start the course and start learning. So like I said, those that have not submitted or changed their name or live up to the instruction that was given in the first place, they will not be allowed to continue with the program. And the rest of us, we are free to go. And we can start our learning, and I wish us all the best. If you have any question, you can bring it up. So someone is asking, we still following the curriculum course in this code cloud. So now, in the first day, remember there is a curriculum that I sent, the structured curriculum on what to do, the first course, next course, and so that's the one we are following, but we are looking the course in code cloud. I don't know if you understand. So the next one is containers. Then we're working on dealing with Docker. So we are taking the Docker course on code cloud. So when we move to maybe container orchestration, when we talk about Kubernetes, then we'll be taking this Kubernetes course. Then when we are talking about the cloud platform, so here you can choose if you want Microsoft or if you want AWS. I think those are the two options that's common now. So you can take the Microsoft Azure solution called architect course, or you take the AWS, excuse me, course. So now, so when it comes to, let's say Docker, there might be different courses that talks about introduction Docker to beginner. So if you go to the Docker certified, okay, let me use this Kubernetes certification course, for example. You see another course there, they will say, okay, maybe Kubernetes for beginner. I think it's somewhere around there. So it's more like the introduction. And even when you start this CKA certification, they will still go over the same thing they taught in the introduction. I don't know if you get me. So they will still go over everything that was said, just going to be like recap. So instead of doing that, then come back here and seeing the recap, you can just go ahead and start with this. But if you felt you want to go with that first, it's still very okay. It's still very okay. So it's just, for example, someone that if you want to pay, if you don't have a voucher, like want to do exam, instead of taking AWS Cloud Practitioner first, just go and do the AWS Solution Architect. Because even the solution architect and the practitioner have the same curriculum, just a little that is different from it. So why doing the practitioner and wasting your money when you can do solution architect and it's still going to start from scratch to the end? So that's the same principle that applies in this CKA also. So we just go to it. It's going to explain everything also from scratch. Not that it's not even going to assume that you know it before. So it's still going to explain it from scratch, like you preparing for exam. And like I said, it's not something you just take for once, then you do it. Even after the bootcamp, you see yourself going over it again and again and again. That's how you attend mastery. And when you now start doing the project on it, you attain mastery on it. Okay, Abayomi, you have a question?
Okay, yes. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay. Real quick. You said you're telling us you actually, from everything I took from what you said now concerning the Code Cloud platform, you are suggesting the courses that we should take. But just to add a quick one or a suggestion, I don't know if you can help us, like you have done for the first timetable you sent when we first started. Can you help us like structure it out? That okay, there are some cases someone wants to take AWS or you want to take Azure. Instead of dabbling all over the place and looking for the one that you want to take, can you just put it for us, for people like us that are just starting off, so that we don't be all over the place and we are looking for which one should we take, which one should we not take? Maybe like we just
So
follow the curriculum, like you structure it out. If you take certified Kubernetes, do you understand? Like like the same timetable like when you prepared for us, I would really appreciate so that we don't spend the whole for
Can
we
you
think
all
45
see
days is a
my
lot,
screen?
but at the end of the day, we'll now be all over the place
Can
and
you
we'll
all
not
see my
structure our
screen?
learning. Yes, you can see your screen.
Okay, just a moment. So it's still the same. Okay, don't worry, I will share it so you see. So from beginning, this is the, just a moment. So now, okay, I think this is the old one, but okay. So this is the curriculum we have at first, right? So if you see, this is the same thing we are following. So when you see this container now, so this, like, for example, this container, that's what I'm talking about, Docker. Do you understand? And now container orchestration is the Kubernetes. If you want it to be written on it, that's not an issue. So if you go like infrastructure as a code, you will see it is already, that's the same way it's structured, which is this one talks about Terraform. So, okay, this is it, the Terraform. Then if you go here, we have the CI/CD. So the CI/CD, I think that one is on all course. Let me check just on cloud. So you see the course on CI/CD. So I can just write the specific course on that, on the list again and say, okay, this is specific course you can do, but the specific course is, it's there. So when you just go there, so let me check. So the CI/CD will be under this DevOps. This one, I can as well just search. Yeah, where is the search button? Just a moment. So I can as well just search, but I can put it on the platform like that. On this, I can just come here and put in the course that I should do for this. So when we come to monitoring and observation also, we have the same thing here. So don't worry, I can do that and put in the course that you're gonna do here for that. Okay, so this is one of the CI/CD course, but I don't think it's this one. But I've not checked it, but I know it's there. So that's how we're gonna do it. So I can do that. So also, when we get to the public cloud platform, so in this one, so you can, this is where you can decide to choose between maybe Azure or AWS on the platform. Am I able to answer your question? Am I able to answer your question? Oh, okay. I'm not hearing.
Yes, Shagun, thank you very much. We appreciate your feedback.
Okay.
Thank you very
So
much.
Joel, you have a question. Can you bring it up?
Good evening, everyone. So I just want to get a clarification. When you said on Code Cloud that we take a course that leads to a certification, does it mean that probably when we complete those courses, like there's a certificate we get, or it's just like a preparatory guide towards a certification exam or what? Just confirm.
So the certification is what will help you learn the concepts better. So you preparing for the certification, like for example, Kubernetes certification, that one is controlled by the Linux Foundation. You going through the course, prepare to write the certification, and once you write the certification, then that shows that you are certified, that you are an expert in this field. So certification helps you to learn and understand the concept faster and easier, and and it's going to give you a proof. So if you complete the course here, they'll give you a certificate, but that is not recognized. It's just recognized on Code Cloud. So there is a standard certification you will take from Linux Foundation. But this is the same course that you need to do to pass the exam. Do you understand?
Yeah, I do. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Then Isaac, you have a question?
Yeah, so just to like a follow-up on the penultimate speaker, uh, he was asking if you can just help us do like a selection of those courses. Like, so like just to add, it's more like from what I got, you were talking about, like you're going to put the name of the course there. I would like prefer if it's like a link that we can just click from the document and then takes us straight to the course. We don't even need to start, going through the repertoire of resources, because it can actually be overwhelming if one is new to the platform and you don't really know, since you've not done it before, you don't know the content of each of the courses to compare which one is the best, or which one is better than the other. But with an experienced person like you, right, you can always pinpoint the one that will be helpful. So if a link to the course can just be attached to this document, such that once we click it, we just go straight to the course and we are learning. So that will be very nice.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So that's not an issue. Sure, that can be done. Yeah, Latif, you raise your hand.
Yeah. Good day, sir. Basically, I want to ask the login details that we are going to be having. Is it going to be the same or different? Like,
So,
are we having individual login details, one login that will be sharing? Then, secondly, what will now be the evidence of like our submission? Because I know that if it's the same login, then it's just one account. So, what will be for example, the Docker certified associate that will be doing? Or
okay, yeah. So that's a good question. That's a good question. So, firstly, each group will have a different login. So there might be possibility of a login for each group, but it's also possible that each group can get two different logins. So at this stage, there is no specific, it's normal like we want to hold you to show an evidence of completion. So it's more like the ball is in your court. You have all the resources you want. You have a premium platform in which you can do whatever you want to do and learn as fast and as much as you can. And like I said earlier, you have 45 days to complete this, which I believe is more like still enough at this stage. And you have another extra 15 days to complete a project in which within that 15 days also, you have access to the platform. So it's more like you have 60 days access to the platform where you can learn everything that you want. So at this stage, the learning is more like in your own hand. But if it was to be me, if I see something like this, I will want to do a lot, like giving more time. So if I'm able to complete the curriculum, I can do extra courses also that I see on the platform that I think will be very rewarding for me at this stage. So it wouldn't actually be like, okay, you need to submit this, show evidence or that. So that's why we make that a compulsion in the first semester. So it's more like, when you want to get to the final year, you'll be like, you do how you want to do it. So that's how it looks now. So that is not like, okay, we want you to submit completion. So what you just be expecting more from us now is more like a section that will actually explain more concept about it, answer more question often, then give more support. And remember, at the end of this program, it doesn't end there. We also love to assist in like recommendation for, for job, like contacts we know to give you more hands to assist mostly outside of, depend on location. Let me say that. So, and you can only recommend someone that is skillful. And in this IT, before they ask for your certificate, they ask you, what do you know? And you have to prove it to them. So if you come and say, oh, I've done it, and you haven't done it, you are not doing us. You are doing yourself. Because when they call you to prove it, you don't have anything to prove. And that's not our own fault. So if you have resources to train yourself and develop, then you need to focus on that and build your own skills. So IT is about what you know, what you can do. Nobody cares about maybe you have a university degree or you have a master's or a PhD. Once you know how to do it, then you're getting the job. Then having a university degree is now an added advantage. Everyone they want to do promotions and co. Even it also depends on the organization. So it's more like your hands-on skill. So if you can make, that's why we say, okay, we're not going to monitor you in this or give you any attention on this. It now depends on you. If you want to do it, then it's in your own hand. If you don't want to do it, then it's still in your own hand. Do you understand?
Yeah, understood. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I think that's a fair enough so that with that, you can take the whole thing into our hand. If you want to complete it in 1 week, 2 weeks, and learn another thing, it depends on you. And if you don't want to just leave it anytime and you not complete it, it's also it's also left to you. So any other question? Yeah, Isaac can ask your question.
Okay, yeah, thank you for this again. I just want to know, is more like after 60 days, we don't have access again, right?
Yeah, so after 60 days, we might actually maybe block the access for it.
Okay,
So that's why we feel like
yeah,
we want, it's a thing that we can give a year access, but that will now be for those, from beginning, we said it's possible. So it's not something that is certain. We might want to sponsor someone's on some certifications. So those that want to proceed and get the certification, then they will have further access to prepare for their exams. And also people that probably made it or were able to get an interview and they quickly need a platform also to practice and quickly build more on their skills. Because the truth is you might want to get a job now and they need extra skills that is not in what you have done in this curriculum that you need to quickly brush up and learn. Then of course we can give you access to it and use it. The main intention, the main goal of it is to get a good job, and we can also can always assist with that.
okay, great. Yeah, then what's the other one? The other one is for the A cloud group. It's looking as if we are not going to get access to that because in 60 days, I'm not sure we'll be able to chew enough of the whole cloud. So I'm just
Yeah,
wondering when it
yeah.
will be possible to have the A cloud group.
So that's the reason why I said we won't give the two at the same time because if you are using the two, it will be conflicting and be confusing sometimes. It'll be like they have a different teaching method. So it's just better to be consistent on one. So now peradventure, maybe you want to, write certification and you need another platform now to also solidify what you know. Then we can give you access. If you want any cloud, you get access. Or maybe you are preparing for an interview and you have other things that are on a cloud that is not even on code cloud, or you want more access, or you want to learn different things, then of course you get the access to that. So giving to the same two at the same time might just be contradicting, learning from two different places. It can just be overwhelming and be confusing. So that's why it's okay. We are going to use one and be consistent with that.
All right, great, thanks.
Check the chat. So someone is asking what area would you? So the project will cover everything you did from day one to the last day. You'll be using Linux, you'll be writing a Python script for automation, you'll be doing a CI/CD, you'll be using Kubernetes, you'll be using container, and everything. At last, you'll be using a cloud platform also. So technically, everything you have learned is going to be what the project is going to. So that's when you appreciate everything you learn from beginning. That none of these things is a standalone. Everything is working together. So that's why, when you go out and you see different training institute doing cloud computing training, you will see some, they say, okay, we are doing a cloud computing training for cloud DevOps and cloud developer. And the only thing you see is that they are training on AWS or maybe on Azure. Let's say Azure for cloud, they will train you only on Azure. That is incomplete information and incomplete knowledge and resources. Azure or AWS is just a cloud provider. There are a lot of things that make up the cloud. So there are many principles and everything you need to learn put together at the same time. Do you understand? To get the whole knowledge and use this thing. So that is how it works. And you will see some training, say cloud computing, say you train on AWS, and you'll be seeing collecting a sum of 300,000 for AWS platform, or maybe Azure or Google Cloud, collecting as much as that. That's why I see when people take this opportunity for granted, I'll be like, what one of the thing you are learning here, just one is what they are collecting outside for 300. And you are learning like 12 of these things in just one, and it's more like free. Then why will you not put in your whole full time one and put in your best? Because one of the main obstacle to knowledge is, let's say, resources in terms of money and time. So when the money is taken away, then you should be able to sacrifice your time to any extent and get this knowledge. So someone is asking, can you ask your question? I don't know about submission. Cynthia, do you want to ask? So which group is that?
Hi, it's Cloud Developers Group.
Okay, so I learned you use one form to submit all your submission. So what's it?
Okay, the form was provided way back, like 2 weeks ago, during Python submission. And then some of us submitted it. The form too is labeled Python. And after that, we were asking like if we could submit after, like other forms we could use to submit. But we were asked to use that particular form. But the form is not editable. Like Once you submit, that's it.
Okay, so for cloud developer, there is a special arrangement for you. So this is what you're going to do, is still going to be communicated on the group. So you people now have one group. So both of the group are matched together. The other group, so a lot of people are not serious, so they were removed. So we are matched together to one group. So this is what is going to happen for cloud developer group. So if you go to your Udacity page, to the completed one, you see that all the courses are together. So what you're going to do is going to do a screenshot of the whole course. Then a new link will be sent in which you are going to just upload it. So it's going to be the whole four course in one. Do you understand?
Yes, thank you.
You know, when you do a completion, it's going to show the courses that have been completed. So technically it's going to show all the courses. Then you are going to do the submission in the single link. So that will be passed along to us.
Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah, you're welcome. So any more question? Any other question? No, okay. So like I said, by tomorrow you're gonna get the access link and you can begin. So
Check.
maybe
Sorry.
okay. Yeah, I'm listening.
Sorry. So just a quick one for cloud DevOps and cloud developer. Can you just give like differentiating elements between those two?
So both 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 paths are using the same curriculum. Do you understand? And most of the time their job function is sometimes the same. Although a DevOps engineer most of the time is to work more with development and the operation, which is development with software and code like that. And the cloud developer is more strictly in developing the cloud infrastructure. Even under the cloud developer, there are different, different roles, or let me say different job function that you can do under it. But that's not really an issue when it comes to that. So that's why I use the same curriculum for both. So to be exposed to all the aspects when it comes to cloud development and cloud operations. So when it comes to daily developing the cloud and daily the operations of the cloud. So those are the main core thing that you do with it. So that's why I use the same curriculum for both people, and they are using the same resources, just like you are going the same angle. But maybe, for example, when we are trying to apply for a job and you felt it's only a cloud development job that you want, then that's when you're going to tailor it. But then you have an extensive knowledge of which area that you want to go to or what you want to do and the tools that you'll be using. Like I work as a cloud developer, I work in cloud infrastructure. I find myself doing DevOps job also. I find myself doing automation. Do you understand? So it's just like that. So am I able to answer your question?
I get it.
Yeah, okay. So I wish us all the best. So if you have any,
Yes.
okay, I'm listening. Okay, so if you have any question or concern, just reach out. So I want us to be now more open and communicating on our group, ask questions, work with yourself. So the thing is, the friendship you make now, you build now in this group or in this community, and the friendship that is going to help you when you start working. For example, when I'm doing some courses, the friends I met, then they are the one who used to work together, talk about the latest things that is happening, organize projects together, and it has been a very rewarding for us. So that's the friendship that we're gonna move forward with. So try to work with yourself, interact more, build, work in a team, learn about new skills together. I'm planning on taking certifications together, which will be rewarding. So in 2 weeks' time, so we'll be taking the LinkedIn optimization section and also talking more about the GitHub also. I know many of us have a GitHub and we have projects on it. So we can just talk briefly on that, but I can sure that most of us have not started using the power of our LinkedIn. So after this, if it is possible, after the whole bootcamp, maybe just a section to just do a CV, just CV optimization, something like that. Then we just start applying for a lot of jobs in different area and getting recommendation. Every time, like almost every day, I always get message on LinkedIn from people like this job is available. Do you want to do it? We are offering you this almost every day, sometimes 3 messages every day. And I'll be like, sorry, unfortunately, I am not interested. So anyone I'm not interested, if I'm confident enough that you have the skill, of course, why wouldn't I recommend you? When I know that okay, this person is up to the task and he or she can do it. But it wouldn't be nice if I recommend you and at the end they will be like, this person you recommend doesn't know anything. So if that kind of thing will not come to me again and it's going to block another person. But if you are very skillful now and you know what you're doing and I recommend you, that also will recommend another person and that trend will continue going like that. So that's why I'm more concerned about you having the skills before I can say, okay, I can recommend this person. So I wish us all the best and I hope this will be rewarding for us and we find value in it. So if there is no more question, I will say I wish you all the best and have a safe evening. If you have
Thank
a
you very much.
question,
Thank you very much. Yeah.
yeah, you're welcome. So take care of yourself. Bye.
Thank you very